What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Fridays. So, when we left off, we were just here in Zofia Castle after beating Desay and going back to recruit Forsyth because I forgot to do so the first time around. I don't think these two have anything important to say. I'm not going to bother talking to them for now. But there are a few interesting items we want to pick up there, like the Rider's Bane there, which will be super useful. It actually looks like there's a Ram Wine here in there that I'd forgotten about. And then there's a Black Pearl here, which will be useful if we ever end up doing I want to say it's... Oh, yeah, it's the Astral Temple and Inner Sanctum DLC that give access to the different Zodiac shards that then give bonuses to growth rates. But we can worry about that later on, probably during Act 3.
May I have your attention? It's true we have made great strides by recapturing the castle. But Chancellor Desay, the man who started all this, remains at large. And the Regalian army yet lingers inside our kingdom's borders. To free Zofia, we must find Desay, slay him, and drive Regel back for good.
Yep, so basically it's time to go to war.
Yes? You are our commander now. We would hear your opinion on this.
Oh, right. My opinion. Well, what are our options?
Yeah, all of them is kind of incompetent here.
Garrison the castle and wait for Regel to come to us. Or we could take the fight to them. The choice is yours.
I see. You know, until recently, I'd never set foot outside of Ram Village. This war has been
not
my first glimpse of the
exactly
kingdom I
true.
live in. Unfortunately, I've also seen what it's been reduced to. Needless to say, it's far worse than I'd heard. People are suffering, even dying. But this war, no matter how terrible, has also taught me something. It taught me that when we stand up and fight, we help those people. I don't want to stop helping them now. I want to press on and make as much of a difference as I can.
Yep,
I know this
by...
probably sounds empty.
Well, okay, that gets
Maybe
into
even
spoilers,
mad,
so I'm not gonna
but I
finish
think
that
we should
thought,
keep
but...
fighting until we've taken back all of Zofia.
And all of Valentia eventually, but we'll get to
me?
that. That's Act 4.
Will you stand and fight?
What kind of question is that? Of course we will, silly boy.
Then it seems the matter is settled. The Deliverance shall march. We will put Desay down and scatter the Regalian army to the four winds.
And of course everyone's super eager to go to war against the empire that's basically built itself up on war.
Were you even listening to a thing he said? Your goosebump giver just declared war on the whole damned empire.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know, but I think it was a nice speech. Wait, he did what?
Oh,
No,
Tobin.
no, come on, this isn't war, Gray. He's just going to kick them out. Right, and then Emperor Rudolph will just send a fruit basket to apologize. Come on, Tobin. You can't be so thick that you don't see what's coming. What? Stop staring at me. It's creepy. You
Gotta
really
say, I
look
do
at this,
love the
didn't you?
interactions between
You
Gray
agreed
and
to join
Tobin
the
here.
Deliverance, I mean. Oh, come now. You're the one who said all those years ago that Alm was different from us. You knew he was going to do something like this one day. I'm not a prophet, Tobin. All I meant was that he's different. Well, you were onto something no matter what you meant. Because now we're starting to see that he's much bigger than we are.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
proud of
much.
him, but I'm also going to miss him. Oh, brother. You poor kid, Tobin.
Alright, so I think that's the end of that, and then I think we have to go into the throne room before it'll let us go up the staircase. So let's go ahead and do that.
Well,
Oh, yes, that's right. We have to have this bit of exposition
I
dropped
was
on us.
hoping I'd run into you. Please, allow me to welcome you to the castle. I served Zofia's king for many years, you know. If you need anything, just ask.
Thank you. That's very kind. This is my first time here, so I'll admit to feeling a bit lost. My grandfather, Sir Myson, spoke of it on occasion, but...
Sir Myson the Zofian general?
Yes, that's the one. I'm his grandson, Alm. He
Not
lived in this castle
exactly.
long ago, didn't he?
Well, yes, but how very odd. I knew the general quite well, and he had neither wife nor child.
Huh?
I beg your pardon, good sir, but that simply cannot be the case. Alm is most certainly related to...
No, I assure you, General Myson told me himself. I have no family, he said. Clear as day it was.
But wait, if I'm not...
Pay him no mind, Alm. The old man's probably just confused is all. It was a long time ago.
Yes, well, you're certainly going to pay him mind, Clive. As kind of implied by that little ellipse there. Alright, now I think it lets us go to the circus.
Commander Alm, you're just in time. Please proceed up these steps.
Sorry, I think my
A visitor is waiting for you up on the balcony.
audio capture might be glitching a bit here.
Who is it?
Well, this might actually be one of the last recordings I do on this computer, because I literally just earlier today got a new computer that is currently in the process of updating. Gotta love Windows 10. But, anyway, so, provided I can get everything that I needed transferred over properly, I'll be using that from here on out for recordings. But, look who it is, it's Myson.
Good to see you, boy.
Grandfather, what are you doing here?
I have my reasons. Look how far you've come, Alm. You're a man grown now. You've been through quite a bit since leaving the village, haven't you?
I suppose. But, Grandfather, I'm sorry I never said goodbye, or thanked you for all you did for me. I still feel guilty about that. But I think I made the right choice. I'm the commander of the Deliverance now. And together we've already liberated the southern outpost and this castle. So you see...
I didn't come here to pick apart your actions, Alm. I came here to ask you a single question. Are you ready?
Am I ready?
Okay,
Indeed.
so
For
after
once you
this
march
little
on
bit
Miguel,
of exposition,
you'll
I've
place
got
yourself in
a
the
couple
hands
things
of
I want to say about
destiny.
this whole
You
situation.
won't be able to stop the events that unfold. No one will wish you well. Many will even try to stop you. Unexpected tragedy is sure to follow.
Yep.
That is the price of what you're about to undertake. So I ask again, are you ready to take the lives of others into your hands? Are you ready to shoulder all of their burdens, their desires? And are you ready to fight and bleed until Sophia and all of Valentia is saved?
I am. I know I may be in over my head, and I still have much to learn.
Right on both
When
counts.
I say I will fight for my kingdom, I will fight for my kingdom. No one will stop me. Nothing will break me. I'll see it through to the very end.
Very well. I've seen that look before. Must run in the blood.
Huh? What do you mean?
You'll understand in time, boy.
Yep.
Say, that reminds me. This old man downstairs was saying some strange things. He told me... Huh? What's that noise?
Well, well. The people have gathered to get a look at their new hero. You should go greet them.
Whoa.
Burn this memory into your heart, boy. These are the people whose burdens you will carry the rest of the way. Remember what lies upon your shoulders.
I gotta give this game credit. It does get quite serious.
And so it was that Sophia Castle was liberated from Desai's clutches, causing the Sophian people to greet their new hero with raucous cheers. However, what Alm did not and could not know was that his victory here was but the prelude to a longer and far more bitter conflict.
Oh, right, then it cuts back to... Oh, yeah, this is where we go a look at...
The rebel army has taken back Sophia Castle.
And what of Berkut?
Sire, Lord Berkut withdrew and rejoined with the main force.
Pathetic. Pathetic. A Regalian knight. The Emperor's sworn defender. Scurrying away like a rat.
You might be a jerk, Jedi, but you are right.
Would never have painted so sorry a picture. Hold your tongue, Master Jedi. Why should I? I merely speak the truth.
You said the leader of this deliverance is named Alm, correct?
Yes, Emperor. He assumed command after Sir Clive of the Knights of Sophia stepped down.
Did he now?
Okay, so now that that's over, I just want to say this. Mycen will pop up a couple more times throughout the story. I don't think he shows up at the end of Act 3, but we'll see him again at the end of Act 2, and then we'll also see him again later on. I have no clue how he beats the party to all these different places. Like, it's later revealed that there's a bit more to both Mycen and Rudolph than what is initially presented, and I'm not going to get into that now in case you haven't been, or in case any of you are not aware of what happens throughout the story. I want to try to keep that from getting spoiled early. But there is quite a bit of information there. And, like, I guess through Mycen's past, he kind of gets the ability to move around a bit more freely, but I still don't understand how he manages all this. Oh, I also don't understand this cutscene. Like, the one before Act 1 we'll get to eventually, but this one doesn't really have that much of a parallel. Like, yes, Alm and Rudolph will eventually fight because it's Fire Emblem and it's kind of to be expected. I apologize if that's even remotely considered a spoiler, but I don't think of it as such just because it's kind of obvious that this would happen, given the nature of most Fire Emblem games. But I don't... Oh, wait, that's right. Oh, okay, never mind. I remember... Okay, so mild potential spoilers here, just I'm going to try to keep it mostly spoiler-free, but at the end of Act 4, something happens with Celica where she sort of... Well, at the end of what Celica can do in Act 4, she kind of gets the ability to sort of watch Alm, so I guess this is her having like a premonition of that happening eventually, but it's still not very well explained ever.
Hey, why are they clanging that infernal bell?
Apparently the king's passed away. That's what Noma said, at least.
Oh yeah, I should mention, Act 2 with Celica's Path doesn't immediately start before,
I hope she's dealing with this okay.
it doesn't start immediately after Act 1. It actually sort of jumps back in time. So it's, I guess it's almost parallel with the start of Act 1, but truthfully I don't know enough about this game's timeline to be able to say definitively, yes, this picks up at the same point where Act 1 starts, but it seems pretty similarly tied. And we'll see why that is a bit more closely at the end of Act 2, where for the first time Alm and Celica bump into each other. Almost literally, actually.
The key to everything lies with Milla. I shall travel to her temple and learn what's become of her.
Yes,
well, Celica isn't entirely wrong here.
You know well the reason Mycen placed you in my care. With the king's passing, you are the last living member of the Zophian royal line. There are many who would seek to use you, or even end you. That threat is greater now than ever, yet you would still leave, knowing that?
I must. Even if my decision betrays the care you and Mycen have shown me. You've done so much to keep me safe, and it breaks my heart to pain you. But what calls me to do this goes beyond my heart. I can only ask your forgiveness, Noma.
Keep your cries of forgiveness, little one. I'll not give what isn't required. If this is your mind, I won't object. Follow the path before you. Trust in it as I in you.
Thank you, Noma.
Of course. But you must take care. The blight in Zofia is worse even than you know. You've uncommon talent as a warrior priestess, but carelessness is fatal. Ah, and you mustn't forget Miller's turn wheel.
Oh yeah, so we just sort of start with the turn wheel now, and then Silk gave on the turn wheel on his route. I think I remember in one of the memory prisms, which we'll eventually get to, that Silk was, or maybe like her roster description or something, I don't remember, but I think Silk was once here at the Priory on this island that Celica and Noma are on right now. So, what I don't, this is just sort of speculation, but maybe the turn wheels were both kept here, but then eventually both turn wheels will be, or will serve a bit of a purpose, just with what eventually happens as we approach endgame. But
Celica, I heard the news. You're going to the Temple of Mila, right? If so, then I'm going too. You can't say no.
Does the game physically give me an option to say no? Because otherwise I could.
Good, because I'm coming too. I'm not letting the two of you off on your own.
Letting us? You say that like you think you could keep us safe.
Oh yeah, May and Bowie are kind of jerks to each other and get into a lot of fights, but they actually really like each other, so...
Rude and wrong. I can conjure lightning, Bowie. Big, purdy lightning. What have you got? Fire? Maybe I'll call you if I want to roast marshmallows.
May is overlooking the fact that she also has the fire spell, so,
I know I'll be counting on you both. This isn't going to be an easy journey. Still,
true,
I'm glad I'll have
we do have to
such
fight
good
a
company.
ton of pirates. Oh look, it doesn't give me the option to refuse them. But it does give me the option to overlook Jenny here, but we do want all the healers we can get. Although, to be fair, Celica's route does have quite a lot of them. And then here is actually our first cog, so it's got a little on-screen pop-up here. Basically, everyone that we encounter in the world, and I don't know for sure how many there are, but I think I've found like a maximum of 10 or so.
Celica,
Or like
can I?
10 total, not counting counting the 3 that start in the turn wheel already. Each one you find gives you another use of the turn wheel on both routes. Don't ask me how any of the turn wheels that one finds on one route affects the turn wheel of the other, but I guess it just does. It doesn't really explain that well. Okay, so, oops, I forgot that this is counted as dungeon. So we've got Waters of Attack and Waters of Speed. I'm thinking I'm going to give 2 uses of the Speed Fountain to Bowie to help him double more, just because his speed stat starts pretty bad. And then, let's see if we can use the Waters of Attack on anyone. So, Jenny doesn't need it that much because she won't be doing that much attacking. But, Celica also doesn't really need it, considering that she gets to be really, really overpowered. Let's see, I guess... I almost want to give it to Bowie as well, just to help him compare better to May. Although, so May and Bowie kind of had different base stat distributions, so, May is a bit more offensively based. She starts with a higher base speed, as you can probably tell from what stats have been seen while I was using the fountains. Whereas Bowie starts more defensively. So he's got higher luck and better defense at the cost of some resistance, a bit of attack, and speed. But then he also has higher skill, which won't really matter as long as they're still in a magic class because their hit rates are fixed. So yeah. Actually, let's give a speed fountain use to Jenny, I think. Just so that she has a better chance of hitting twice with Nosferatu. Yeah, I'm so used to playing other games that I'm used to pressing R to run.
Ships leaving the port will get us to the mainland. We should head there now. Though that does mean we'll have to pass through the cemetery on our way. Rumor has it there have been terrors appearing there as of late. Let's be ready for anything.
Okay, so we're finally at the point where we can actually start fighting. I apologize for that taking so long, just because there's a lot of exposition, especially with starting Celica's route from the beginning. So I'm thinking I'm going to fight the terrorists here, do what I need to in Novus's Great Port area, and then fight one or maybe two of the pirate fights, just so that then next episode we can start with Barth's pirate fortress. So first off, though, we've got a fight against terrorists. Now, Celica fights many more terrors than Alm does just on the map. In fact, I can't really think of many instances where Alm has an encounter against terrors on the map, although he does have one spot during Act 4 that he has multiple Necro Dragons that he'll have to fight. But I think that's about it for him, whereas Celica will be fighting lots of terrorists.
I'll face down thieves or rogues any day, but terrors are different.
Yeah, they have far too much health and basically nothing else.
Scared of spooks and spirits at your age?
Shove off, would you? A man can't help what gives him fright. Oh, not you too, milady. You wound me.
I'm sorry, Bowie. I was just remembering my brother.
Brother? I didn't realize you had one.
Yes, though by different mothers. He was a sweet thing, but meek, frightened to death of ghosts. Then he became one, alas. And much too young.
No,
Were he alive,
exactly.
you two would have been quite alike, I'm sure.
Milady,
Way to go, Bowie. Your whining's gone and dredged up a bunch of sad memories for Celica.
What? Why is this my fault?
Because it's always your fault. Now suck it up and get ready to fry some foes, terrors or otherwise.
Okay, so this is actually also our first instance of the gravestone effect, which is absolutely overpowered. So it gives plus 60 avoid, which basically means that you can sit on one and the enemy will probably not hit you at all. Now that won't matter that much for us, because were we using a bunch of physical units, we'd have to be very careful, but as I think Celica is about to explain, or have like a comment about, magic ignores terrain effects, so...
Terrain bears no influence on magic.
Yeah, here we go.
I remember Sir Myson saying so. Listen close, friends. Do not be shy about when and where you attack. Even if our foes cower in the woods, our spells will find their mark.
Assuming the RNG is with us, which we can't really assume. But anyway, so Celica actually starts with an item, the Golden Dagger. That will eventually become a pretty useful weapon, but for now, with Celica, it's not really that useful because she's going to be mostly using her spells for now. Eventually we can have her use a sword as well, but at the moment, it's best to just keep her with spells. Even though these terrorists don't really have that much defense or resistance, it's still just better to keep with magic, especially on this map, because then we're able to ignore the gravestones that all these enemies will be ducking in and out of. Okay, so May could use the Thunder Tome, but I don't like that it's got less accuracy, and right now we don't really need the extra range, so I'm just going to stick with Fire for now. And then I do need Bowie to get a couple levels soon so that he can start picking up some better spells. I don't remember when he gets Thunder, but I think it's pretty early. Like I said in the last episode, I don't just keep spell lists next to me for any of these characters, so I'm just going off of memory of the time I played through it. But yeah, I think Bowie will pick up Thunder sometime, like level 3 or 4 or something. I don't know. But in any case, he shouldn't have too long to go without it. And then this is kind of why terrors can be a bit annoying, because as you saw, this terror did 1 damage to Bowie. So, yeah. And then he got a crit, which I wasn't expecting, with a 5% chance. This game's RNG is so weird. so much weird stuff happens with this game and its RNG that I just don't really know how to explain all of it. It's just 1 minute something's happening, and the next you get a crit and you didn't expect one, and the Fates RNG would have probably never given that crit to you. But yeah, so this fight is pretty straightforward because we've got so many magic users. We basically just have to keep throwing fireballs at the enemies until they eventually die, while using Jenny to heal up. Now, at the moment, she's our only healer, but I think basically all 4 of the units we have right now will eventually get the ability to heal. So I think, I don't remember when Celica learns it, but I think Celica's first spell gain is Seraphim, which will be pretty valuable because it deals bonus damage to terrors. And then I think she gets Recover sometime shortly after, but then I know that Bowie and May can both get Recover upon promotion, I think. Which then makes it so that they can do, or they can heal a lot more. So Celica, because she gets a lot of mages and mercenaries, isn't really short on either healers or high damage sword users. And speaking of, we'll actually be picking up our first pretty shortly here. Okay, so now, see, the nice thing about being a magic user on a map like this is, even though our attacks aren't affected by terrain, theirs still are, so even though we miss that, it doesn't really matter, because if they try to attack Celica here, they probably won't hit. And from here, I think I'm just going to put May and Bowie both on the gravestone, and I'll have Jenny just wait out of the danger area for now. Because, see, they've got a 27% chance to hit. So, of course, because this is the Echo's RNG, it hits regardless. Like I said, this game's RNG is weird compared to some of the other ones. Let me guess, he's gonna hit too. Oh no, okay, that's more like what I'd expect to happen. So yeah, both May and Bowie can be pretty good, but when it comes to mages, I actually prefer Delphia, who I think we get in Act 3 on Alm's Path. So, unfortunately, we won't be seeing her for quite some time because you don't pick her up until the end of Act 3, but she is perhaps one of my favorite mages. Now, to be fair, I intentionally gave her a ton of levels while I was playing through on my main file, just to help catch her up, because she does start off pretty low compared to most of your units, but I just found that she performed really, really well, so when we eventually get her, it'll be kind of awesome. But for now, we've just got May, Bowie, and Celica. And Celica is actually arguably one of the best mages in the game. She gets Ragnarok, she gets Seraphim, she gets access to healing, she starts able to use swords. She's just really good overall. And of course, as one of the main characters in this game, it's unsurprising that she's so strong. It's kind of like what you would expect if you made your Robin in Awakening a mage, I suppose you could say. Although, I would actually argue that Celica is a bit stronger, just because once she gets her unique weapon and the skills associated with it, she's basically able to one-shot almost anything with it. Or at least anything I've seen. And obviously that doesn't include the final boss, because the final boss of this game actually has, I think, were it not for Anonkosa's 4 different health bars pooling into one absurd health bar, I think, or I'm pretty sure the final boss of this game has the highest max health of any Fire Emblem boss or of any boss in Fire Emblem history, as far as I'm aware.
I need to book passage to Zofia Harbor.
I'm afraid that's a difficult wish to grant, even for you, Priestess. This patch of sea is teeming with pirates of late.
Yeah, I noticed when I looked at the map. There's just a ridiculous amount of pirate ships here.
That being said, if Milady were to do something about those pirates, well, that'd be a different matter altogether now, wouldn't it?
Except you kind of get dragged into all these fights too, don't you?
They've grown bolder by the
Like,
day, so they have.
we take your ship eventually and go off to fight a ton of pirates, but that drags you along with us, so where are you in all these fights?
We can't live cut off from her. What's happened to Sophia?
That's a long story.
Forgive me, milady, but I can't get you across the sea so long as pirates sail it.
Yeah, at least until we get some more fighters to join us, and then kill all the pirates.
What are we supposed to do now?
I can't believe that old-timer tossed his pirate problem right at our feet.
Oh, come on,
They
May.
look like the type to fight pirates. They're delicate little blossoms.
5 seconds ago, you were just killing your way through a graveyard full of
The man
zombies.
is right.
So,
We'll not get anywhere until ships are free to sail again.
What do you propose, milady?
Let's gather what help we can find. The sea is only the start. Sophia is at war, and ravaged by terrors besides. We'll not make it very far traveling alone. We need allies. Strong ones.
true, which is a good thing that we'll eventually pick up Valbar and his friends.
They'll just be lining up to take the job.
And then, of course, well, we eventually recruit the White Wings here, and if you've played Fire Emblem Heroes, that might actually be the more likely scenario for you to have encountered them. That was actually the first place I found them as well. Then you might know that who they are. Pala, Est, and Katria. I believe they first appeared in the original Fire Emblem and Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. And then I think they're also in the sequels to those. I think it's New Mystery of the Emblem and then just Mystery of the Emblem. But to be honest, I don't know that much of some of some of the older Fire Emblem games, so I'm not certain.
Yes?
Yep. Who are you, girl?
My name is Celica. The people here speak quite highly of your skill with a blade. I'd like to enlist your services as a protector.
Guard duty, huh? You headed somewhere, or is this a local deal?
We seek the Temple of Milla.
That's awfully far.
True.
And I suppose you've already heard about our little pirate problem.
Also true.
It's the reason I seek your aid, in fact. Unless you think a few mere pirates are too much for you to handle?
That's real cute. Believe me, lass, I ain't worried about a couple sea rats. All I'm worried about is if you can pay. I don't work charity cases. Especially when I'm risking my own neck.
I'm afraid I haven't much money. But I do have this.
The golden dagger that's actually more of a sword.
Well, ain't you fancy?
Will this be sufficient for your services?
You mean will I risk life and limb for a single dagger? Ordinarily, no. But since I like your moxie, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a break. You got a deal. I'll get you to your temple.
Wonderful. You have my thanks, Saber. May, Louie, did you hear that? He's going to come with us.
This job's got easy money written all over it. What kind of fool hands over treasure like this without batting an eye?
True.
She really must be Daddy's spoiled little lass.
Well, not exactly. But it is true that that dagger is a lot more valuable than Celica realizes. Because that's actually eventually what we forge into Celica's unique weapon.
I have. And this
I think,
gentleman
I don't remember
Saber
what it needs. I
has
think it's a
agreed
couple
to
gold
this.
marks to
Now may we
forge
ask you
that,
to
but
set
I don't
sail?
think we can forge until Act 3 anyways,
I'd
so.
be honored to do my part, milady. Come aboard. We'll depart as soon as you're ready.
What's wrong, Celica? Feeling blue?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just that the last time I was on a ship was when I came to the island.
Hey, that's right. Bowie and I used to take little trips every now and again, but never with you. Shame we never got to travel as a group. Would have been way more fun.
Are you completely daft, May? Celica came here in hiding, remember? She can't just announce herself by hopping aboard a pleasure cruise.
But she can apparently announce
I know
herself
that much,
to
Bowie.
basically everyone
Of
on this
course I
island.
do. I'm just saying I'm happy we're getting the chance now. Isn't that right, Celica?
Please stop talking before you dig a grave so deep we all go tumbling in.
It's fine, Bowie, really. And I'm happy to be traveling with you as well, May. Though I'm also anxious. What could have happened to Milla? Will we even
Yeah,
make it to
that's
the
a
temple
long
to
story.
find out?
And eventually, yes, we will make it to the temple, but...
I'm sorry. Best I keep this one to myself.
What? Oh, that's just mean.
Where are you right now? And what are you doing? Are you still living in that village with Grandpapa?
Depends exactly
tell.
how
You've left
the
your home
timeline
behind, haven't you?
lines up,
I
but...
want to see you so badly.
Oh, don't worry,
There's so
Celica,
much
you
I
will
need
by
to
the end of this
ask.
act.
Perhaps Milla will cause our paths to cross on this journey.
Yeah, no kidding. But, yeah, they do eventually meet, and we will eventually get there, but... that's not for quite some time.
Are you in pain, my Lord Duma? The sight tears at my heart, but you needn't endure it much longer. I've had report that the girl has left the island. I will deliver her to you without fail.
Wait, so I get that there's
She
magical
of the fated
teleportation
children,
and stuff, but
their
how did
grand-
Jeddah get information that Celica has left the island when we're actually still here on the island, like, just because obviously we're about to leave the island, but still. How did he get word from that here? Actually, the game won't even physically let me scroll that much, but all the way on the other side of the continent up in Duma's tower. That doesn't really make any sense, but it is Fire Emblem, so I guess there's some logic to be pushed. Like with I didn't mention anything with Rudolph because obviously as a giant coordinated army commanded mainly by the Emperor, it makes sense that the Emperor would be getting constant updates about the front, but still. And yeah, it says first pirate raid because there's going to be a lot of them.
Yar! Not a step further, ye scurvy dogs!
Hey, you're the scurvy dog.
Pirates! These waters belong to Barth the Pirate King, as you're surely aware.
Well, they won't
That
for
means
another
you
few
need to pay a
fights, so...
toll. All your goods and women'll do nicely.
An interesting offer. But I fear we must nevertheless decline. The sea belongs to no one man. She's a gift to every citizen of Zofia.
Yar! Who be the mouthy wench?
Enough with the chit-chat. Reason and logic are wasted on sea dogs like him. Let's just get to business already. That's what you hired me for, ain't it?
Yeah, pretty
Fair
much.
enough. Let's go, everyone.
Alright, so here we go with the first of many pirate fights. So, this map design actually really favors us because we can pretty easily catch them in a bottleneck here. And with so many mages on our side, we can just pretty easily kill them. So, this shouldn't be too difficult to fight, and I also don't imagine it'll take very long. However, there are supplies on each ship, which make it so that if we don't kill them quickly enough, they'll eventually fall back to heal. Here, let's see. No, we do want to be here, just so that way, when they bottleneck themselves, we'll be able to attack them with more of our mages. Oh, hold on. We do want to... Oh! Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought there were more than just the 5 or so enemies I saw over here. I completely missed the 2 that were over there. But yeah, what we... Oh wait, that's right. Due to the story event, Saber already has the golden dagger. I was gonna say I need to have Celica give it to him, but whatever. So Saber can take some damage here just because these pirates are stronger than the terrorists we were just fighting. But we also have Jenny pretty close by, so worst case we can have one of our mages rotate out and heal. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to have May use Thunder to weaken one of the pirates in the back. And then I think we're going to have Bowie and Celica kill the one up front and have Saber go in and attack the one that we just wounded with May's Thunder spell. That way we can sort of push our way in as well. And mainly, we just don't want to be giving the enemies the opportunity to heal. That's our main concern. Because if we leave them alive, then they'll be able to fall back and get healing. And that just prolongs this unnecessarily. So then, since Saber is taking a bit of damage, we'll have Jenny use Recover to heal him up. And also, if we get her a level or two, she'll get the Invoke spell, which actually is pretty good. It summons, I think it's anywhere from 4 to 8 units, the class of which varies depending on which caster is using the spell. And so, with Jenny, it's soldiers, which isn't fantastic, but they can still be useful to sort of distract the enemy for a turn or two. So for now, we're just going to have Jenny shift over and heal May, so that we've got space to put a caster behind Saber here. I think we're going to have Bowie do it, just because he's closer to getting a level than Celica. And this way, at the end of the fight, when we get the bonus EXP... Oh, another 5% crit. At this point, it shouldn't even be surprising. Anyway, this way, the bonus EXP that Bowie gets won't just be wasted getting him close to leveling up when he was already pretty close to.
That's why we count on you.
And so then we can have Saber continue pushing on, and we can just have Celica come up behind him and finish off this pirate. Okay, cool. So then, I think that just leaves 3 of them. Now, one of them is the boss, which will probably have slightly higher stats than the others, but for now, that's not really that much of a concern, because we're still cutting through them pretty easily here. Alright, so we are going to want to heal Saber in a second.
I'll take care of it.
Let's see. Here, let's have Celica get this kill. That way, Saber doesn't get himself hurt more. Or at least more before what I'm planning to do here. Actually, how far can Jenny move? 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So we can do this. So we'll have Saber attack this... Oh. I was about to say that we'd have him attack this pirate here at, what, 2 7% chance crits in the same combat. That is an absurdly low chance to happen. Like, here, I actually happen to have my phone with the calculator app here, so I can figure out exactly what odds that was, just because I'm not that good at mental math. But, that was an absurdly low chance to happen, so...
I owe you one.
Yeah, that was a 0.49% chance that would happen ever. So, yeah. Anyways. So I kind of got cut off there with just the absurd odds of that ever happening. But my plan, as you kind of saw there, was to have Saber attack and apparently kill with 2 crits in an extremely unlikely scenario. That one pirate, and then I was going to have Jenny go up behind him and heal him, which is exactly what I did. So now we'll just get our other units in here and hope that the boss gets off of the supply style. Yep, like that. And actually, he looks pretty similar to the rest of his units, so maybe it's not even enhanced. That would be... Well, I wouldn't say surprising, just because some of the more generic fights in this game do have that sort of situation happen. But, disappointing, I guess, would be the word. Just because usually when you're fighting a boss, you expect it to be more difficult than the rest of the enemies. Oh, that was a bad level up. That's unfortunate. But a level is a level, and that gets her closer to getting her next spell. And we also pick up some bread, which is just a nice provision to have on hand to get some free health. So yeah, with bonus EXP, it looks like Saber and Jenny are both about ready to level up, so we'll have to make sure to have them do at least something in this next fight here, which should be pretty easy to do, considering Saber will probably be bottlenecking again, and Jenny will be healing. Now, I think this boat has 2 bridges they can cross. Yeah, it's got a second bridge over here they can cross, and they've also got an archer, so this is a harder fight. And they also have the same leather shield mercenary, pretty much exact copied, in fact, that Alm fought all the way back in, I want to say it was the second episode of our Fire Emblem Echoes playthrough. But the point is that, here with Celica's route, it'll actually be a lot easier to kill this guy than it would have been on Alm's route. Although I think we did get a mage on Alm's route, so it wasn't super difficult. But now that we have so many more mages, it'll just be a lot easier. Now they are coming from more than one side here, which is going to give us a slight problem. So I'm thinking we're going to have Saber and Celica stay where they are. And then here, what's this archer's range? Okay, so we're safe from the archer for now. Then I think we're just going to have Bowie move up a space, and then May can use Thunder to weaken this pirate here. Now we missed. That's unfortunate. But what that does do is it gives us the ability to have Jenny heal, so then she gets a level, so I guess 1 health on Jenny for a level is kind of worth it.
Is good luck another of Milla's blessings?
If so, then I have not been very well blessed. Well, okay, at times, I should say. Oh, I'm a moron. I waltzed straight into the archer range I was planning to avoid. Oh well, doesn't matter. We didn't take very much damage, and so we'll be fine. And we get another crit on Saber. What in the world is happening with this game's RNG? Why does this always happen when I play this game? This game's RNG makes zero sense to me, I swear. Like, were this Fates or something, we would have never gotten 3 crits in 2 fights on a 7% chance. Ooh, and we also pick up wine, which is unusable regularly, but we can sell it once we eventually get to Smithy to then get 25 silver marks. So pretty well. Is it 25? I actually think it's 12. I don't remember. We can get some silver marks for it. That's basically the purpose of getting it and the benefit of getting it. Okay, so we're in a slight situation here because that mercenary is very strong. I did see that support we had there, but unfortunately I have bigger concerns, and that concern is making sure Saber doesn't get completely murdered. So first we're going to attack with May to get some damage. Then I think I'm going to have Celica trade to Saber so that she gets the golden dagger back, because I'm about to put her in the danger area. And then I'm going to have Celica use her fire spell to kill this mercenary so we don't have to worry about it. Well, actually, come to think of it, that leather shield would have been a good item to pick up, and would have helped a lot for this situation. But whatever, we'll just send it to the convoy for now. We'll get Saber to fall back, we'll have Jenny heal him up, just because we don't want to lose him, considering that having mercenaries is very beneficial. Especially because the Dread Knight class, or the Dread Fighter class is super good. So, we definitely want to be able to have a lot of them if we can. And that's not even really a challenge at all on Celica's route, because you get, let's see, you get Saber, you get Kamui, you get Jesse, I think his name is. So that's 3 right off the bat. Then, depending on what you do during Act 3, you can get Dean as well, and then depending on how you promote Atlas, you can get him to be a mercenary and then a dread fighter as well. So that's 5 total dread fighters that you could potentially have on this route without even using the villager's pitchfork from the DLC to get more. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so Bowie is in a tight spot right now. This is not very good. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so first things first, we definitely need to heal Bowie here, because if he doesn't get healed, he's screwed. So, first we heal Bowie up. Then we can have... what do we do here? Alright, let's have Bowie come over here, use his fire spell to take out this brigand. Well, very nearly, I should say. Then I can actually get this support as well, which will just help us fight better.
Look who the Wyvern dragged in.
Hey, May. How you holding up?
Wyvern. I don't even know if there's a Wyvern Rider class in this game. I mean, it might be one of the overclass classes,
we
but
studied magic and all, but, well, I guess I never really expected to be zapping folks for real, is all.
Sure, but we always knew it was a possibility. The whole reason we trained was in case anyone learned the truth about Celica.
Yeah, I know, but still. There's a difference between feeling prepared for something and doing it.
true.
Is there? I seem to be doing all right. Sounds like this is a personal problem.
Oh, come on, Bowie, don't be a
Come on,
jerk.
Seriously? This isn't a shock to your system at all?
No, but
I
apparently
told you
fighting
before,
terrors
I
is.
knew what I was getting into. I've been ready.
Wow. You almost sounded like an adult just now, Bowie.
Ha. Age has nothing to do with it.
Alright, so now we can use Thunder. Okay, no, we want Celica to stay where she is, so we're going to use Thunder to kill this brigand here. That way, he's out of the way. Really glad we hit that Thunder cast, because otherwise I might have turn wheeled just because we need these guys to die, otherwise we're going to have some problems. Alright, so then from there we can have Saber come in and attack this guy. Now my biggest concern is Jenny is probably about to take a giant hit from that archer.
That was an easy one.
So that could be a problem. But the problem is I can't... Wait, what? Yes! Yes! It's counted as a wall! Jenny is actually safe. Okay, so that's lucky. Here, I think I'm gonna cast Fire and beat up the one behind this guy. That way we don't lose any health to the one that's right in front of us. Ah, oh, come on. Well, actually, that might be for the best, because that way we don't send him back to heal. But the one that was right in front of us does, which is slightly unfortunate. But yeah, having the golden dagger just makes us hit harder so that we can retaliate better. And it also starts getting us the arts associated with her weapon, which is very beneficial. Alright, so now we want to have May use her Thunder spell to help clear out this bridge.
I'm pretty strong, you know.
There we go. And then, let's see.
Ready to move out.
Okay, so we can use our fire spell to probably kill this guy. And unfortunately, we are going to need to chase down that other brigand who ran, but thanks to all our magic users, we won't need to worry about supplies giving us problems like it would have in Almsroot. So now we can use Recover to heal up Celica again, because if she dies, it's game over.
Much appreciated.
And then I guess we can just leave Saber here for now, but I do want him to not be getting shot. And then let's just put Bowie on the supplies to get some passive healing. So I do like about this game that your units fight back with whatever weapon they can. So if this archer had attacked us from 2 range, we would have actually retaliated with our fire spell, which is really nice. Whereas in Awakening or Fates, if you had equipped your sword and then got attacked by someone from a distance, even if you had magic that you could use, because you had your sword equipped, you then couldn't retaliate. Here, can Jenny get a kill here? Potentially. I guess we'll give it a shot. Come on. Yes, there we go. So that's all Jenny's health back. And some EXP for her. And then...
I'm still hyper. Let's go.
Hey, it looks like there's a support. Oh, yes, I think I remember the support.
Hey, Celica. How's Trix?
Hello, May. I'm managing well enough, I imagine.
Great. Oh, but if you do want to start slacking, you just leave things to me.
You're always so full of energy, May.
Yep, that's pretty much my one selling point. Well, that and zapping fools. Now get ready, because I'm gonna help the heck out
Oh, no,
of you
I'm
today.
thinking of... I think their B support. In their B support, May sort of talks about how she's got a crush on someone, and Celica catches the hint. Alright, so May's a bit beat up right now, but that brigand should be well out of range, so we should be fine.
You best. I'm ready for anything.
And then I can start having Celica work her way over there. We can have Saber go over there as well to just sort of block should the brigand turn and try to kill us, but it won't. And then we can also have Jenny heal up May here.
Thanks.
Oh, rats, I think bonus EXP is going to take, or is going to make it so that Jenny is about to level up, but not leveled up yet. Oh well. So with that, that's the last hit there. Ah, not quite enough. So I think that's going to be 2 of our units that are about ready to level up after bonus EXP.
Whew. Talk about a close one.
Wow. Okay. Never mind. Make that basically all of them. Okay, so it looks like in the next part we're going to have quite a few units to level, or that'll get leveled up.
That's where Barth Peep stands. He's the pirate king of these waters.
How is one a pirate king?
It means we'll have to sail right past it. It'll be trouble if we're seen. So let's unfurl the sails and be quick about it.
Hold a moment. If we were to deal with this Barth, would this stretch of ocean be safer?
Well, yes, undoubtedly. But no sane person picks a fight with a pirate king.
Yeah, that says something about the people we're about to see over there.
A nice, easy escort job, not to storm some pirate hold.
I see. Very well then. I shall lead the charge myself. You need only worry about keeping me safe.
Now, Justa.
The people of that island are suffering under the tyranny of those pirates. I can't stand by knowing starving innocents are being routinely plundered.
Oh, for the love of... Look, I ain't sure why I have to remind you of this, but you're on a mission. And you can't finish it if you keep poking your nose where it don't belong.
Well, sorry, Saber, but the game literally won't let me pass by this opportunity, so I guess we're fighting it either way.
There are no guarantees I'll ever return from this journey. I would at least like to ensure peace to those who have been so kind to me. Is that so unreasonable?
Oh, fine. It's your neck. Go ahead and risk it on whatever fool thing you like.
Thank you, Saber.
Alright. So yeah, as I mentioned there, looking at the map and what paths we can take, we literally can't avoid this fight. Although we can potentially avoid this fight here at the Seabound Shrine. But we won't avoid that one either, because fighting that and then exploring that area gives us a nice weapon that we'll want to have. But yeah. So next episode we're going to be fighting Barth. We're going to be getting Valbar and his friends on our side. And we're probably also going to fight our way into the Seabound Shrine as well. But for now, I'm going to leave it here. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like, comment, let me know what you thought. Let me know what other shenanigans you'd like to see me try. Let me know what your favorite characters in this game are. I don't think I've actually asked that yet. I kind of like, or personally, I kind of like the banter that goes on between Gray and Tobin, as well as May and Bowie. But if I had to pick a favorite based on usage, I would probably go either Delthea, Zeke, once we eventually get him, and just with the weapon that I gave him, he was pretty overpowered in my main run. Or maybe Celica, though I don't really like the choices that she makes in Act 4, but we'll get to that once we get to Act 4. So, yeah, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day.